And now we come to the floor section. So sitting on the edge of your chair. Now, if you're not using a chair and you want the modified variation, just follow K on the floor. Otherwise, sitting right on the edge, and I want you to almost like you're going to slouch. So really tuck under that lumbar spine. So you form a nice C curve in the spine. And then gently engaging the core, pelvic floor, belly button, lift one leg up at a time and really shuffle forward, holding onto the edge. We're going to do a single leg stretch. So right leg comes out, right leg comes in. Left leg out, left leg in. Now as you push the leg out, just make sure your back doesn't arch like this. Otherwise you'll pull on your back. So really pull in that core so that you're sucking in really tight here so that your back stays in that rounded position, protected. Now if you want to make it easier, just stretch the legs up to the ceiling. If you want to make it harder, push the legs lower, because the lower the leg, the harder it is on the core. So we exhale, inhale. If you feel you can't fully straighten the leg because you might arch your back, then that's okay. Just keep it slightly bent. So as you're pushing the leg away, really suck in and blow out the candle. Nice and long. If you get tired, just have a breather. You can always join back in when you're ready. And exhale, inhale. Exhale. So really you should be feeling it right here in those abdominal muscles, maybe a little bit at the top of your hips because those hip flexor muscles are involved as well. Where you shouldn't feel it is in your lower back, okay? So if you do, either lift your legs up higher or don't straighten the knees or do the modified version and follow K. We got 8 more of these. Exhale, inhale. Really pulling in, trying to keep that waistband pushing down towards the chair. 3 more, 2 more, and gently release. Coming up, and then we're going to roll over and we're going to do some press-ups. So, I'm going to be having my hands on the corner of the chair. Kay's doing the modified box variation just on the floor. Vicky's going to do an easier variation where she's hinging forward. Myself and Anameta, we're going to do like a 3/4 version. So like a little plank. Here we go. We bend in for 2, and push back for 2. Now just making sure you're not hinging forward like this. Also watch your lower back doesn't arch. So really pull those ribs in and keep those butt muscles tight. And back for 2. So we inhale as we lower. We exhale, push out. Now the chair's obviously got to be pretty sturdy to push down. And if you haven't got one, then it's going to do this. So just follow K on the floor. If you're feeling a little bit unsteady there, keep those butt muscles tight and keep those ribs tight. Inhale on the way down. Now double time, twice the speed. So we bend, we push. Inhale, exhale. So because we're going twice the speed, you haven't got time to get the same range of movement. So just have a small bend. Inhale, exhale. Now we've got 8 more. Hang on in there if you can. 7. Squeezing those butt muscles and really squeezing those ribs. Watch the shoulders don't hike up, so keep them away from the ears. Last 2. And now we're going to do some attitudes. So we're going to put our legs in 2 90-degree angle positions. Now the more upright you are, the harder it is. So have a little lean into your chair. Kay is doing the version on the floor. The lower you go, the easier it is. Okay, so just lift that leg up so the knee, ankle and hip are at the same height. And we pulse. Lift, lift. It's only an inch or so. Now what you're going to watch out for is this bottom rib here, pulling away. So really draw it in. Watch the shoulders stay back and down. And just watch this knee creeping forward because it makes it easier. And we wouldn't want that, would we? No. So lift, and up, and up, and up. You can place the hand on the hip to make sure that it doesn't move around as you're lifting. Now get ready to take that leg out behind you. So we're pushing it back, push it back. Now just be careful when you push the leg back that you don't straighten the knee. It stays at that 90-degree angle. Watch this rib, make sure it doesn't poke out, pull it in. And keep that hip still. Push. Exhale, inhale. Now little pulses. Push back, push back, push back. Beautiful. Keeping those shoulders nice and square. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Now we're going to change it up. So it comes like this, one up and then one back, slowly. So we go up, down, back and forward. One up, one down, one back, one forward. Beautiful. If you get tired, just have a breather. One up, one down, one back, one forward. We got 4 more like this. And back. 3. Don't forget to breathe. So we exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Last one, hang on in there. And gently release. Cross that leg over. Now we're going to lie down and place our top leg on the chair and stretch out that bottom arm. And we're going to raise that inside thigh. It looks like this. Up and down. Up and down. So try to keep both knees straight and make sure the shoulders are drawn down away from the ear and that your waist is long so you're not collapsing. Watch this bottom rib here, that it doesn't just hang out like this. Pull it in nice and tight away from the floor. Lift and lower. Exhale, inhale. Really working into that inner thigh on the bottom leg. Now hold it up. Little pulses. We go up. Blowing out the candle every time you lift, and also every time you lift, really pulling in that core, keeping it nice and tight. So you should only feel it here, nowhere else. Keep lengthening, so reach the fingers of that bottom arm along the floor, like you're trying to touch something that's out of reach. Reach this top arm, slide it down away from the ear. Nice and long. Keep the waist long and really lengthen that thigh bone out of the hip socket. Pulling in that core. Hang in there, you're nearly done. So we've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Well done. Coming up to sitting, facing your chair. And I want you to take your ball, okay? So, grabbing the ball, and just move the chair a little bit further forward so it's just out of your way. And we're going to lie down, holding onto the ball, fully stretching those arms out, feet together, and we're going to do a teaser. Starting with the right leg, it looks like this. Here we go. We'll lift the arms up to the knee, reach it to the ankle, back to the knee, back to the floor. Left leg up, reach, back, and down. Now if you can't sit all the way up, just sit part way up, up, 2, 3, and 4. Exhale, inhale. Keep those legs nice and long. So remember, you don't have to come up all the way. Just follow K and just come halfway up. Beautiful. To make it easier, you can also bend the knee. That makes it a lot easier. Like this, and back. So remember, you should only feel this in the abdominal muscles. If you feel anything in the lower back, follow K instead, or bend the knee. And down. Exhale, up, inhale, down. We have 2 more, and down. Last one, and down. Beautiful. Now you need to place the ball under your feet, and we're going to work your hamstrings at the back of the leg. Now, you ideally want your butt off the floor for this one, but you can keep your butt on the floor like K. It makes it a little bit easier, but you really need to press those feet very firmly down into the ball to get that hamstring connection. So we're going to lift our pelvis just a couple of inches, and your aim is to keep the hips at the same height as you push out and back. Lovely. So we push out, out, and back. Trying to keep those hips and pelvis still. So the work is mainly as you pull back. Those hamstrings claw the ball back towards your butt. Out. And we're going to exhale as we pull in. So we inhale and we exhale for the effort. Breathing in and breathing out. Remember, rest if you need to. Now you shouldn't feel this in the lower back. If you do, you've probably lifted the ribs or lifted too high. So really keep those ribs down and almost have a slight pelvic tilt, so a slight tuck, and that will help to protect your back. Otherwise, leave your butt on the floor. And back. It should be starting to feel a little bit crampy by now, so you can have a breather if you need to. Inhale as you come forward. Now try not to fully lock out those knees as you come forward, otherwise the work in the hamstrings is slightly lost. We're going to do 4 more. Inhale and exhale. You might feel a little bit work in the calf muscles and the shins. 2 more if you can. Pushing away and back. Beautiful. And 1 more. And back. And then just bend those knees in. And then we're going to roll over onto our side for an oblique side lift. So you're going to place the ball just underneath the waist here. And you're going to bend that underneath leg at about 90 degrees in front of you. And we're going to lie down on this outstretched arm. This arm is directly along the side of the leg, and the head is angled down. Now, if you want to support your leg, because you don't want to lift the head like this, just place the hand like this. So your hand acts like a little cushion for your head. Open the collarbones. If you want the modified version, follow K. Here we go, lifting up. So we go up for 2 and down for 2. So try not to lift the head like this, otherwise you'll strain this side of the neck. Angle the head down towards the floor and down. And your aim is to move this hand down the side of the thigh. So we're lifting up and down. We're lifting up and down and down. So it's really small and down. You should feel it all along those oblique muscles down the waist. And the higher you lift, the more you're going to feel it. But be careful that you don't look like a banana and use momentum. So you want to keep this nice long line here as you come up, because it's actually harder than it is to do this. Okay? So just watch that. So we go up for 2 and down for 2. We exhale and we inhale. If you wanted to make it harder, you lengthen that arm. But just again, watch the neck doesn't start to lead the way. And down. So we exhale up and inhale down. Now we've got 2 more like this. Lifting up, pulling in those ribs, pulling in that core. And I'm going to hold it here because we're going to have a little pulse. So you reach. Blowing out the candle as you lift. You might get a little bit of a burning sensation here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Beautiful. Now we're going to do that opposite side. So place the ball underneath the waist and bend that underneath leg forward at about 90 degrees and stretch that opposite leg down. Arm along here and hand under the head just to support the neck. Okay? So we're going to go up for 2, down for 2. In 4, 3, 2, and lifting up for 2 and down for 2. Exhale up and inhale down. So you're going to exhale up and inhale down. Breathing out and in. Breathing out and in. Exhale up and down. So again, watching the neck, that doesn't start to bring that ear up to the shoulder, or you will shorten and strain that neck. Try to angle the head down. So we go up, up, and also watching that shoulder, keep it open, opening the collarbones, and really pulling in that core. So stretch the fingers along the side of the thigh. So try to aim for your knee, reaching up and lowering down. There's going to be 4 more like this, because then we're going to pulse. 3 more. And down. Last 2. And back down. 1 more. Now hold it here. Little pulses. So we go. Lift, lift. We get a little bit of burning here. So we go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Well done. Now I'm going to take your chair because we've got to do your attitudes and your inner thigh lifts on the other side. So we're going to bring our chairs right across to the other side. Ready for our attitudes and inner thigh lifts. So just place the ball on top of the chair and get it out of the way. So I'm just going to show you from the side on view while we do the other side. So leaning over as much or as little as you need to. Just take this leg off the floor, and ideally you want that knee and the ankle and the hip at the same height. Ready? Here we go. So we lift up and down. Exhale, inhale. Again, watching for that knee creeping forwards. So a few more slow, then we're going to take it up to a little pulse. Deep breath in. Ready? Here we go. And we lift, lift, lift. So blowing out that candle. You can have the hand on your hip like me, just to make sure that the hip doesn't start rolling backwards and forwards. So you keep that hip still and really pulling that in, that underneath rib, so it doesn't poke out. So your job is to keep the hip still, the pelvis still, while you're lifting that leg. 7, 6, 5. Get ready to take it out behind you. Just slowly, here we go. Push back, and forward. Push back, just an inch or so. And as you push back, make sure you try not to lean forwards. So none of this. Keep the body nice and upright. And also watch you don't straighten that leg, because the knee stays bent at 90 degrees. Back. And also make sure that knee doesn't come in front, because it needs to stay either level with the hip and then push back, but try not to let it creep forward because it makes it easier. We wouldn't want that. Push back. Push back. 2 more. Now double time. Ready? Here we go. Push back. You should feel it all around the butt, maybe around your waist, but not in your back. If you do, go further, closer to the floor, and follow K. So we're going to do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Now one of each, just slowly. One up and down. Push back and forward. Up and down. Push back and forward. Really keeping those shoulders still, keeping the hips still, and no movement in that pelvis. Beautiful. So let's do 4 more. Push back. Hang in there, nearly done. And back. Last 2. Up and down. Push back and forward. 1 more. Push back and release. So getting ready for those inner thigh movements now. So just pushing away, one leg on the top and the underneath leg nice and pointed on that outstretched arm. So we lift and lower. Now make sure the shoulders are pulled back and down so you're not hiking up. So shoulder down. Think about those 3 body spaces. The space between your ear and shoulder. Keep that shoulder down. The space between your rib and your hip, i.e. your waist. So keep it long, keep lengthening away. And then the space between your thigh bone, your femur, pulling out of that hip socket. Almost like you're dislocating the hip out of the socket. So making space in that joint. And then reach the fingers of this bottom arm along the floor. Spread them wide. It's like you're trying to touch something that's just out of reach. So shoulders down, waist long, lengthen the leg, pull in the core, and just watch this bottom rib that it doesn't sag. So really pull that rib in and away from the floor. Shoulders down, using those mid-back muscles to draw that shoulder back and down. So we lift and down. Exhale, inhale. Now really lift as high as you can. So you're working into that inner groin. Blowing out the candle as you lift that leg up. And push your pubic bone forward and squeeze those glutes. Double time, here we go. Lift, little pulses. And every time you lift up, pull in that core just that little bit tighter. Make sure your hips are stacked, one directly over the other. You're not rolling back like this. Keep it forward. And lift, 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 lift. Last 4, hang in there. 3, 2, and gently release. Lovely. Okay, so now we're going to stretch out all the muscles after all that hard work. So join us for the stretch section.